They say knowledge is a source of power, yet there are numerous aspects that still elude us. Consequently, it's natural to feel a bit overwhelmed by the vastness of the world. Familiarizing oneself with these unsettling pieces of information might provide some assistance. From peculiar animal behaviors to eerie Disneyland trivia, in this video, we present 30 creepy and unsettling facts to explore, provided you possess the courage. It is said that Disneyland's renowned Pirates of the Caribbean ride incorporated actual skeletons. Initially, the Disney engineers found the fake skeletons lacking in creepiness upon their arrival. This perception may be attributed to the fact that prosthetics during the 1960s were not as convincing as they are today. In order to create a more authentic experience, the Disney engineers sought the assistance of the anatomy department at the University of California, Los Angeles, to obtain real skeletons. Over time, these genuine skeletons were gradually replaced with artificial ones, although many individuals believe that some real skeletons still remain within the attraction. Regardless, this eerie fact concerning the Pirates of the Caribbean ride is both captivating and chilling. Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street finds its roots in a true story. The renowned director shared that the concept for the iconic slasher film originated from an account he came across in the LA Times. The story revolved around a boy who experienced distressing nightmares, leading him to avoid sleep for several days due to fear. On the fateful night when exhaustion overcame him, he tragically passed away in his sleep, his pleas for help echoing through the night due to the torment of his nightmares. According to the FBI, there are approximately 50 unidentified serial killers currently active in the United States. However, some experts, such as homicide archivist Thomas Hargrove, speculate that the actual number of active serial killers in the country could be much higher, estimating it to be around 3,000 to 4,000. It is not uncommon for children to experience auditory hallucinations, commonly referred to as hearing voices. Parents need not panic if their children exhibit this phenomenon, since approximately 8% of children encounter such experiences, which is on par with the prevalence of asthma or dyslexia. While hearing voices may be disconcerting, it is considered a normal occurrence. On a daily basis, an individual typically ingests approximately 1 to 2 cups of nasal mucus. A significant portion of mucus travels down the trachea rather than exiting through the nose, ultimately accumulating at the back of the throat. While this peculiar scientific fact may elicit a sense of disgust, rest assured that it is entirely harmless and within the realm of normalcy. Believe it or not, your bed can harbor up to 10 million dust mites. These minuscule creatures are particularly fond of warm bedding and feed on dead skin cells, making your bed an optimal habitat for their thriving population. Dust mites are microscopic in nature and have the ability to multiply exponentially, reaching numbers in the thousands or even millions. The eerie lesson to be learned from this fact is the importance of regularly washing your beddings to mitigate their presence. On average, an individual perspires approximately 1 cup of sweat per day. Consequently, it can be inferred that over the course of a year, your bed absorbs approximately 26 gallons of your perspiration. This unsettling fact serves as a reminder to diligently wash your bed sheets as frequently as possible. Isla de las Muñecas, also known as the Island of the Dolls, holds the reputation of being one of the most haunted places worldwide. Situated south of Mexico City, this small island evokes fear and unease. The island's trees are adorned with numerous dolls, believed to be inhabited by the spirit of a young girl. Legend has it that the island's caretaker discovered a girl who tragically drowned under mysterious circumstances. Upon finding a doll floating in the water, the caretaker hung it on a tree as an offering to soothe the restless spirit of the deceased girl. Regrettably, this gesture of appeasement proved futile, as the spirit of the drowned girl continued to haunt the caretaker. To quell her anger, he began hanging more and more dolls, resulting in an eerie collection. There have been accounts from tourists claiming to witness the dolls moving their heads and whispering to one another, further intensifying the chilling atmosphere of the island. For the Zoroastrians, leaving their deceased in special towers to be devoured by vultures is an integral part of their tradition. Although some may find this practice unsettling, it holds deep cultural significance for Zoroastrians. Their funerary ritual involves placing the deceased atop towers known as dogmas. Zoroastrians believe in the sanctity of the earth, water, air, and fire, and burying or cremating the dead is believed to taint these elements. While the sight of exposing their deceased to the elements may evoke horror in some, it is an act of reverence and respect according to their beliefs. Aztec priests held the belief that the tears shed by children possessed the power to bring an end to droughts. The Aztec followers, who placed great faith in the efficacy of human sacrifice, often conducted rituals involving the sacrifice of women and children to honor their sun god, Huitzilopochtli. During periods of drought, Aztec priests resorted to sacrificing children, convinced that their tears could invoke the arrival of rain. The Devil's Bible, also known as Codex Gigas, stands as the largest Latin manuscript recognized worldwide. Contained within its pages is a striking full-page portrait of Satan. According to popular belief, the manuscript houses the contract made between a monk and Satan in the 13th century, wherein the monk purportedly sold his soul to escape execution. The Sedlec ossuary, adorned with decorations crafted from human bones, might not be a suitable destination for those with an aversion to human remains. As an ossuary, often referred to as the Bone Church, this Roman Catholic church located in the Czech Republic is home to the skeletal remains of approximately 40,000 individuals. These bones are artistically arranged in various forms, including garlands, altars, and even a chandelier, creating a macabre and unsettling ambience. In ancient England, cave dwellers had a peculiar practice of utilizing hollowed human skulls as vessels for drinking. These settlers would carefully hollow out the skulls and remove the surrounding tissues, transforming them into functional cups. This unsettling fact offers intriguing contemplation about the customs and behaviors of the past. Ancient Romans held the belief that consuming blood would grant them the ability to absorb power. Blood transfusion was a common practice during the era of ancient Rome. During gladiator games at the Colosseum, spectators would rush into the arena to collect the blood from fallen gladiators. They firmly believed that by drinking the blood of these defeated warriors, they would acquire their exceptional skills and powers. In the 1600s, John French, an English alchemist, incorporated brain matter into his elixirs in pursuit of eternal life. Adding to the horror, he stored his elixirs in horse manure for several months before consuming them. The accidental burial of individuals who were still alive was distressingly common, leading to the invention of safety coffins. In 17th century England, doctors frequently misdiagnosed patients, as exemplified by the case of Alice Blunden. After consuming sedatives, she was mistakenly pronounced dead by a doctor and subsequently buried alive. Astonishingly, this horrifying ordeal happened not just once, but twice. After exhuming her and discovering her near death, she was reburied only to struggle inside the casket, still alive, until she ultimately succumbed to death. The Mutter Museum, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, exhibits a range of mutations, tumors, and anomalies in human anatomy. It serves as a repository of preserved internal organs, models, and medical equipment for the purposes of biomedical research and education. The displays in the museum are described as disturbingly informative, as stated by their promotional materials. The floating specks that you often see in the air are not necessarily dust particles, but rather dead skin cells. This means that the air you breathe contains a significant amount of dead skin cells. In fact, during a train ride, approximately 15% of the air you inhale is likely composed of dead skin cells shed by passengers, including yourself. Over the course of a lifetime, an individual will shed approximately 40 pounds of skin. Similar to snakes, humans undergo the process of shedding skin, albeit at a much slower pace. However, when accumulated, the amount of shed skin would amount to nearly half of the average body weight. The kitchen in your office may harbor a rather unsettling fact. Scientists have discovered that 90% of coffee mugs are contaminated with germs. The primary culprit behind this is the shared kitchen sponges, as 20% of the tested coffee mugs were found to be positive for E. coli. The Vent Haven Museum, located in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky, houses an extensive collection of vintage ventriloquist dummies. Ventriloquist dolls often evoke a sense of creepiness, and for many, a museum filled with hundreds of these dolls would be reminiscent of a horror movie set. The Vent Haven Museum boasts over 900 ventriloquist dolls, alongside photographs and replicas related to this unique form of entertainment. In Rome, Italy, the Museo delle Anime del Purgatorio, also known as the Museum of the Souls of Purgatory, displays various documents and photographs containing handprints that are believed to be from haunted souls in purgatory. This small museum showcases items that supposedly bear the signatures and traces of the deceased or souls trapped in the realm of purgatory. Poveglia, Italy is considered the most haunted island globally. During the 18th century, Poveglia Island served as a quarantine location for individuals afflicted with the plague. The infected, along with other diseased individuals, were abandoned on this island to meet their demise. Subsequently, the island was repurposed as a mental hospital until its closure in 1968. Various eerie facts about Poveglia Island remain undisclosed, as access to the island is strictly prohibited. In the 18th century, doctors believed that bloodletting was crucial for maintaining one's health equilibrium. The field of medicine holds numerous unsettling facts, including the practice prevalent in the 1800s, where doctors would incise a patient's vein to extract a specific amount of blood. The rationale behind this procedure was the belief that excess blood accumulation could be detrimental to human health, necessitating its removal for overall well-being. Figging refers to the insertion of ginger root into the anus or vagina. In ancient Greece, slave owners resorted to figging as a means to discipline female slaves. By carving ginger root into a phallic shape, they induced an intense burning sensation and discomfort upon insertion. The practice itself was mortifying, especially considering its potentially prolonged duration. Mount Everest houses the remains of more than 150 individuals. Among the plethora of creepy facts and chilling tales surrounding the world's tallest mountain, one of the most horrifying details is the presence of over 150 deceased hikers, their bodies entombed beneath deep layers of snow. Women in the 18th century utilized lead-based substances as makeup. Queen Elizabeth I employed Venetian ceruse to adorn her face with a white pigment. This makeup contained vinegar, water, and white lead, responsible for its distinctive color. Unfortunately, this creepy fact holds a tangible danger, as exposure to lead could lead to poisoning and even death. In Muscovite palaces and courts, the presence of professional foot ticklers was a peculiar and unsettling practice. Catherine the Great, known for her eccentricities, held a particular fondness for foot tickling. Her courts often employed individuals skilled in this peculiar art. It is rumored that eunuchs and women were frequently hired for these positions due to their ability to elicit heightened arousal. Emperor Nero capitalized on the trade of human urine. While discussing the Roman tyrant, one cannot ignore the unsettling fact that Emperor Nero implemented a tax on urine, charging merchants who traded in this bodily fluid. This was due to the significant value and utility assigned to human urine in ancient Rome. The Judas Cradle represented a brutal method of torture, involving a spike upon which the victim was forced to sit. Medieval Europe was notorious for its array of torture devices, and the Judas Cradle stands out as one of the most horrifying. The victim's limbs would be bound with ropes as they were gradually lowered onto a pyramid-shaped wooden apparatus, causing the spike to penetrate their anus or vagina. To amplify the pain, operators would sometimes add weights to the victim's legs. And that concludes our Part 1 list of 30 weird and unsettling facts. We hope you found them both fascinating and thought-provoking, and wait for us in Part 2. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing content. And as always, thank you for watching.